Hey, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, then welcome. Today I'll be sharing all the books that I plan to read in April. So just like I did last month, I will be using my TBR jar again, which is, my TBR jar is this piggy bank of a cat that is super cute that I'm using as my TBR jar. So I have TBR prompts in there that I will choose from, but I also have a pile of books that I definitely for sure want to get to this month that I am going to mention, because I have some books here that I plan to read that I've been needing to get to for a while now. So we are not going to leave this TBR completely up to my TBR prompt jar to decide, because there are definitely some books that I am planning to get to this month, but I will pick a few prompts out of my jar at the end of this video and add a few random books onto this TBR. But let's first talk about the books that I do plan to get to this month. The first one is my current read, and that is Hunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. This is the second book in the Cat and Mouse duet. The first book is Haunting Adeline, which I read last month, and I loved so much that I want to continue on with this series. I am about, I am about 60 pages into this one, so I'm not very far into it at all. This is a very long book. It is over 600 pages, which is crazy, but that does not intimidate me, because Haunting Adeline was a little over 500 pages, and that book kept my attention throughout the whole thing, which is surprising, because usually if a romance for me is over 500 pages, that is a huge red flag, because that makes me think that there is a lot of filler in it. But with this series, that is not the case. The first book kept my attention throughout the whole thing, so I am very hopeful that that will be the same deal with this book, even though it is really long. If you don't know, this is a dark romance duology, and the first book follows our main character Adeline, who is living in her dead grandma's house that was passed down to her, and she is being stalked. And she doesn't like that, of course, at first, but as she gets to know her stalker more, she starts to fall for him. So it's a very problematic situation, but I really love the two main characters we're following in this series. Their dynamic is so interesting because of the nature of it. It's just a very fascinating duology to me. It's very dark. A lot of insane stuff happens in this series, and so far, the second book is proving to be even more darker than the first book. I've actually heard from a lot of people that the second book is even better than the first, so I'm really hopeful that I will love this one. If this book ends up being a 5-star, because I rated Haunting Adeline a 5-star, this could be one of my favorite series of all time. I can see that happening. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what I think about this sequel. And this duology, it does have a lot of spin-off books that I do really want to read, and I thought about putting them on my TBR for this month, but there are other books that I have on my TBR that I really need to get to, so I think I'm going to put those ones off for a bit, but I do want to read these spin-off books to this series. They sound really, really good. But the main reason why I decided to put them off is because I have these two particular books that I really, really need to get to, and that is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, and these two books are part of none other than the Hunger Games series. I never read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes when it came out, which is crazy. As a huge Hunger Games fan, as someone who was so obsessed with it back in the day, I don't know how I never got to it. And because Sunrise on the Reaping just came out, I think this is the perfect time to finally get to Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So I'm going to read both of these books this month for sure, and I'm super, super excited to get to them. I've heard mixed reviews on the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, so I'm a little weary going into it. I hope I come out of it really liking it, because one of the biggest reasons why I have put off the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is because I'm afraid that if I do read it, that it will taint my love for the Hunger Games trilogy, and I really don't want that to happen. But I feel like at this point, I just need to get to it, because it is part of the Hunger Games series. Like, I just have to read these books. So I'm still gonna get to it. I'm sure it won't completely taint my love for the trilogy if I end up not liking it, but hopefully I do like it. And I've heard absolutely wonderful things about Sunrise on the Reaping. I hear that it is so sad though, so I'm preparing myself for that. If you don't know, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes follows President Snow, and Sunrise on the Reaping follows Haymitch, and I am way more excited about Sunrise on the Reaping because I love Haymitch. I love his character, and I'm really interested to read about him during his initial Hunger Games. I feel like that's going to be completely fascinating. So yeah, for sure, I will be getting into these 2 books in April. That is without a doubt. They are a priority for this month. And I already have these 2 ordered on Amazon. They are on their way to me right now. Next, I have my book of the month pick for the month of April that is on its way to me right now as well. So I don't have the physical copy yet, but I'll insert a picture right here, of course. And that is Passion Project. And I believe this is by London Berry. Of course, her name is on the book right here. I forgot, which is my bad. This is a debut author, which is really exciting because I don't read a lot of debut books. So this is a great opportunity to read a book by a debut author. And it is an adult romance. And from what I can remember, it takes place in New York. I think it specifically takes place in Manhattan. And we're following our female main character who has recently broken up with her ex, and she's on a date with a new guy, and so there's a lot of tension there because she just got over a relationship. And I believe these 2 decide to make like a bucket list of things to do around New York, and they like fall in love during that. So it sounds really, really cute. It sounds like my kind of book, my kind of romance that I would absolutely love. So hopefully it is good. One thing I did not know about Book of the Month is that you have to pick from the books that are selected from that month. You can't pick a book that was a previous book of the month to be your one book from that month. It can only be put as an add-on. And I didn't know that because I had a book that was a previous book of the month in mind to have as my book of the month for this month, but I would have had to put it on as an add-on. That was an extra charge, and because that would have been out of my budget right now, I could not have that book as my book of the month. I had to pick from the monthly selected books, but that's okay because Passion Project still sounds like a really good book, so I'm sure I'll still enjoy it. We'll just see how it goes. And speaking of book of the month, this was actually my first book that I ever got from book of the month, and I still have not gotten to it yet. I got it 3 months ago, and I just need to get to it already. This is also a book that I have been so interested in picking up that it's about time. I'm putting it on this TBR because it is past time I get to it. And that is Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. I have been hyping myself up for this book so much that I hope it does not let me down because the premise of it sounds so freaking good. So this is a dark fantasy, and it's about our main character, and her sister gets kidnapped by this game, and so to get her sister back, she has to go into this game and win it, and then she will get her sister back. And while she's there, she meets this guy who I believe is like a ghost or phantom, some sort of supernatural being, and he is trapped within this world that the game takes place in. And he makes a deal with her that if she helps him get out of this world, then he will help her win this game and get her sister back. And that's about all I know about it. We also get a romance between her and this like supernatural being. So it sounds really freaking good. I am really in the mood for really like dark atmospheric books right now. So I feel like this one is going to deliver. Like I said, I'm really hyping myself up for it. So I hope it's good, but I've seen really good reviews for this one. So I have high hopes that it's going to deliver. The sequel to this one also comes out this month. I may get to it this month if I end up liking this book. It is going to be on Kindle Unlimited, so I can get to it easily, but I don't know. I'm debating whether I should just wait until I get the sequel from Book of the Month eventually. But I don't know, we'll just see what my mood is after I finish this book. And next I have a reread, and that is none other than A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. And this is the second book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. So I am currently listening to this series on graphic audiobook. I did that with A Court of Thorns and Roses last month, and I really liked it. Of course, I have reread the series so many times, but it was a completely new experience taking it in through graphic audiobook. I had never listened to a graphic audiobook before, and it was really cool. If you do not know, graphic audiobooks, they're like audiobooks, but all the characters have their own voice actors, and there's also music and sound effects mixed in. It is so freaking cool. I definitely want to check out more graphic audiobooks in the future. And so because I loved the graphic audiobook to A Court of Thorns and Roses, I'm going to continue listening to this series on graphic audio with the second book. And A Court of Mist and Fury is my favorite book in this entire series, so I just know for a fact I'm going to enjoy listening to this one on graphic audio. Those are all the books that I am for sure going to get to this month, or at least I'm going to prioritize this month to get to. But now we can get into my TBR jar prompt. Last month I picked 5 prompts out of my jar, but for this month I think I'm only going to pick 3, only because I already have I think about 5 books on my chosen TBR for this month, and I don't want to like overwhelm myself. So I think I'm just going to pick 3 and we'll stick to that. And sadly, my camera died while I was choosing my first prompt, so I didn't catch it. And I don't want to pick a new prompt because I feel like that's kind of cheating, even though you didn't see me pick it. So sadly, you're not going to see me pick my first prompt, but it is what it is. So my first prompt was to pick a book that has purple on the cover, and I can easily find a book for this one, I'm pretty sure. So I also have my TBR cart here, and this is just all the books that are on my physically owned TBR that I can choose from. So these ones are all like priority that I need to get to as soon as possible because they're all books that I physically own that I have not read yet. So let's see if any of these books have purple on the cover. Starting with the top right here, I see Butcher and Blackbird. But is this purple here or is this magenta? I feel like this is more magenta, but it also can look kind of purple. I don't know. I feel like it's more magenta, but I really want to get to this book, so I wish it was more purple, but you know what? Let's be picky and pick an actual purple book. So I'm going to put that back right now. So A Wish for Us by Tilly Cole. This one kind of has purple on the cover with the lettering, so that one is an option. I know this one is a young adult romance, so it would be a very easy read. I am not seeing any other books that have purple on the cover, actually. So I think I'm going to choose A Wish for Us as my book with purple on the cover. Like I said, this one is a young adult romance, and it is by Tilly Cole, and I have read her 1,000 Boy Kisses duology, and I really loved it. It was super emotional. I don't know if this book will have the same vibes, if it will be just as emotional, but I guess I'll just have to see. I know it has music involved in it. Like, I don't know if the main character like has a career in music or something, but I love books that have to do with music, so I think I like this one. So yeah, let's put it on to the TBR. All right, now actually you'll get to see me pick the next prompt, so let's see what it is. All right, here it is. All right, here it is, and it says a romance with forced proximity. That is a good trope. It's a trope that I love. Let's see. I'm going to have to do some real searching for this one, though, because it's one of those tropes where you kind of just don't know if the book has forced proximity until you actually read it. But let's see if there's any that I know that has that trope in it. So going through here, let's see what's on my physical TBR. If while looking at these, I can't think of anything that has forced proximity, I think I'll go on Google and search up books with forced proximity tropes, because I'm sure that will help me a lot. But let's just see while we're looking at this. Does Butcher and Blackbird have forced proximity? I really want to read this book, but I don't know. I'm actually not sure while looking at the synopsis, and I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to easily find... Hold on. I got it, y'all. Icebreaker. I know this book has forced proximity in it. Oh my god. Okay. No, scratch that. I found the book. I found it. Because this book is about these two characters. One is an ice skater and one is a hockey player, and they're forced to share the same rink together. And I have been wanting to read this book for a while now, and it has forced proximity in it. I just looked at the book right here and I was like, wait. I know that book has forced proximity in it. So we're adding it on to the TBR for this month, and I legitimately really want to read this one. So I think I'll for sure be getting to it in April. I'm pretty sure. And I've been really looking forward to reading this one just because I know it is so freaking polarizing that I'm so curious as to what I will think about it. This book has gotten a lot of flack for being way too steamy, And that also worries me because while I do love spicy scenes in my books, they need to serve a purpose for the story. So I am kind of concerned that with the amount of spicy scenes that I hear are in this book, where it will have more spice than it does actual plot. But we'll just see how it goes. I have heard of a few people who do really love this book. So I'm so freaking curious to see what I think about it. So yeah, we're adding it onto the TBR for this month. Okay, and the final prompt, let's see what it is. The final prompt is a black cover, y'all. There it is. There it is. We're reading Butcher and Blackbird. Oh my god, that makes me excited. Okay, so I can actually read this book this month, and I am, oh my god, I'm super excited. I have put this book on one of my monthly TBRs before. I believe I put it on my TBR for February, and I never ended up getting to it. So hopefully I get to it this month. The premise of it sounds really good. It's about these two serial killers who have to work together, and it's a romance between them. It has been really compared to Lights Out by Nevessa Allen, which is a book that I really loved. So if this book has the same vibes to Lights Out, I'll definitely enjoy it. So yeah, let's add it on. Okay, my 3 books have been chosen, so I have 8 books total that I'm putting on my TBR for this month, and that is totally doable for me to read 8 books this month. And actually, I do have to mention, for A Court of Mist and Fury, I'm very casually listening to the graphic audiobook. So if I don't finish it in the month of April, then that is absolutely fine, because I'm picking up that audiobook here and there while I'm like doing chores or going on my walks. So it's like not a big deal. I'm very like casually listening to it. So if I don't finish it this month, then it's completely fine. So that makes 7 books in total that I really want to get to this month, and it's completely doable for me to read all 7 books in 1 month. So I'm really excited for this TBR. Hopefully April will be a good month of reading for me. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I have mentioned, if you love them, if you didn't love them. Either way, I would really like to know. Also follow me on my Bookstagram if you would like. That will be linked in the description box. I love Bookstagram. I love posting bookish pictures over there, so you should definitely follow me if you are interested. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll be back with a new one very soon. Bye!